News post ABC poll Trump disapproval swells as president, Republicans face lopsided blame for shoot. Public disapproval of President Trump has swelled 5 points to 58% over 3 months as a majority of Americans continue to hold him and congressional Republicans most responsible for the partial federal government shutdown that ended Friday, according to A. In addition, more than 1 in 5 Americans say they were personally inconvenienced by the record-long shutdown, which ended after lawmakers and the White House reached agreement on a 3-week continuing resolution to reopen government agencies that had been shuttered for 35 days. The deal left Trump without a victory in his battle for a border wall but also provided him a chance to keep fighting. Congressional lead for Trump, the poll illustrates the political damage he sustained as he sought to please his conservative base by building a wall along the US-Mexico border, his top campaign promise. The post-ABC poll finds that Trump's overall popularity has weakened, with 37% of the public approving of his job performance and 58% disapproving. In the just report, though, the new survey finds that a 54% majority of Americans disapprove of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's performance during the shutdown. Negative ratings for Trump on this question are higher, at 60%. And when asked to it, the 19 percentage point margin of blame is slightly smaller than the 24-point margin in a post-ABC poll roughly 2 weeks ago. Among political independents, disapproval of Trump has grown from 53% at the start of November to 63%. Independents White House aides have expressed concerns in private about Trump's strategy, fearful that the deepening public impact of the shutdown could prove a long-term drag on his political fortunes as the president begins to focus on his 2020 re-election campaign. But the president believes his fight for a portion of his wall will resonate deeply with his base, according to aides, and he has been buoyed by support of influential conservatives in Congress and media personalities. Trump also faces mounting political pressure on other fronts. On Friday, in a single tweet, Trump, calling Mueller's probe the greatest witch hunt in U.S. history and asserting that border coyotes, drug dealers and human traffickers are treated better. Trump has repeatedly warned of a national security and humanitarian crisis at the border, by inflating the dangers posed by undocumented immigrants. Aides said Trump remains hopeful for a negotiated solution, but he has asserted that he retains the legal right to declare a national emergency at the border, which would potentially allow him to redirect billions of dollars from the Pentagon to fund a border wall project. During his campaign, "I have other alternatives," Trump told reporters Thursday when asked if he would support a deal to reopen the government without money for a wall. "We have to have a wall." On Friday, the Trump administration launched a new program aimed at forcing migrants seeking asylum at the southern border to wait in Mexico as their immigration court hearings are adjudicated. That process the new procedures, which have been called unlawful by immigrant rights groups, mark the administration's latest response to a surge of immigrant families from Central America over the past 5 years, a phenomenon that Trump aides privately acknowledged would not be adequately addressed by a border wall. A record 100 polls have consistently shown that a majority of Americans do not support the wall. The post-ABC, a separate question suggests majority support for increased border security efforts in general, with 54% saying the United States is doing too little to keep undocumented immigrants from coming into the country. Democratic leaders, including Pelosi, have called the wall immoral. They initially offered, "If we are going to put money in border security, we should put it into technology, more of the infrared and underground sensors, because they work better than a wall," said Ramiro Cavazos, president of the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who was among a group of Latino leaders who met with White House senior advisor Jared Kushner on Thursday to discuss the shutdown negotiations. "We're not in favor of," asked who they trust more to handle border security. 42% say they trust Pelosi and Democrats in Congress, while 40% trust Trump and Republicans. By comparison, The post-ABC poll was conducted by telephone January the 21st, 24 among a random national sample of 1,001 adults, with 65 appercent reached on cell phones and 35 appercent on landlines. Overall result, Emily Zusky contributed to this report.